Hey guys, here's my Primo Geovishap guide video I want to make. I'm going to be going over the team and characters you should bring for the Geovishap boss, as well as a guide to his basic moves and abilities that he uses. So who should you bring for this fight? All the Geo characters are pretty good here, as their crystallized reaction creates a shield which will protect them, as this boss fight revolves around a very powerful attack that I'll show later in the moves category that does a massive amount of damage unless you're shielded by a Geo shield or by any other regular shield actually. But you will reflect damage with this type of attack if it matches the type or as a Geo shield. So we got characters like Zhongli, who got recently buffed and his new shield is absolutely incredible. You can use characters like Diona for her ice cryo shield, Beto's ultimate for an electro shield, Xinyan for pyro shields, and of course the character everyone has access to on the free banner, which is Noelle for her regular Geo shield. So, who should you bring? So it's recommended you bring at least one Geo character if you don't have access to shields, so you can create a crystallized reaction with your DPS. But if you do have access to them, there's many options available. You've got Diona for cryo shields, you've got Beto for electro shields, you got Xinyan for pyro shields, and of course Noelle, who is available to everyone on the free beginner banner as a regular generic Geo shield, which will work against all of the primordial showers that I'll talk about in a bit. However, some characters don't quite work like that. Hydro doesn't exactly have one, so you'd have to use the crystallized reaction. Xinku's shield is a shield, but it doesn't block the attack. So, with that out of the way, let's go over their moveset. So the Primo Geovishap functions basically the same between all elements, outside of the animations looking different, them applying different elemental damage, and also the pillars, how they act. So, first off, let's go over the basic moves. He has a 3-hit swing attack where he ends off with a giant slam AoE to the ground. He has a single swipe attack. And he has a claw downwards attack. He also has a spinning attack, which you will more likely do if you're behind him, and it swipes in a giant AoE around him. And he also has a move that he's more likely to do the farther away you are, where he tunnels into the ground, creating pillars behind him, and then he leaps upwards and then slams into the ground. He also has a Flame Breath attack that fires in a wide cone around him that's also specific to each element. They all just have a unique looking animation, but they function all around the same. They do of course the element damage. There's also the Tail Wipe attack where they shoot all the pillars outward. He also shoots a ton of pillars off his back as an additional move where a ton of pillars are launched into the ground, and depending on the element, they'll have unique effects, which I'll explain next. The Pyro one leaves behind an AoE effect that does damage over time if you step in it. The Hydra one explodes, dealing small AoEs around it in a random circle of around 6+ times. The Cryo one explodes, going from a smaller circle outwards, which deals ice damage, and goes in a little circle AoE that spreads outwards. And finally, the Electro one explodes in an X formation or cross or plus depending on how you interpret it. Those are all the major differences between the pillars, which are their unique effects, but the one thing that unites them all is that how they explode depends on that little star that you see right under the pillar. When it expands, that's when the attack happens. And finally for attacks, we have the giant AoE primordial shower attack, which does a massive amount of damage unless you are shielded. And if you're shielded with the same type of element as the boss's attack, you will deal or reflect a ton of damage back. So Geo shields like Zhongli's will actually count as a reflection. Your shield does need to be strong enough to do the reflection though. Here, Noelle, not strong enough, but it does reduce damage by a massive amount. Here, Xinyan, really weak, level 20, her shield isn't strong enough and she just straight up dies. Now, that covers basically everything this boss has to offer. It's an extremely fun fight. It really keeps you on your toes, and there's different variations of them. Though, if you bring Geo, this fight will be a lot easier, especially if you have a character like Zhongli, who can use his new buffed shield to tank basically everything. So, I hope you found this video informative. Please let me know if there's anything I missed. Please hit the like button if you can, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!